Rance's own health, but Petrie's, he's made life very difficult. Start of the final term, so much on the line. We've spelled it out for you all afternoon. It's still on a knife's edge. Cochin has been wonderful. Campbell finds the footy. He's inside the centre square. Goes out wide. Harvey. When they've dominated the centre square, that's when they've been at their most dangerous. Cunnington about 75 metres out. Petrie goes down. Nothing doing. Mark is paid to Rance. Rance drives it towards the outer side wing. Hooley, a left footer, in an awkward spot there. Brilliantly done. It was fended back by Cunnington. They'll work it through now. Harvey. He got it from a teammate in Harper. Sends it long down towards full forward. And Petrie stayed on his feet that time and took a very strong mark.
And the irony in all that is that Rance gets the opportunity to actually hit the target with the kick. The ball doesn't hit the target, and then ultimately he pays the price because it's his direct opponent there, Petrie, who takes the mark.
Well, not much to the first one when you look at it in replay. Just two strong men, both off balance. Not sure it was a free kick. Wonderful by Rance again. The goal comes after Petrie had the second chance. Point the difference. And that was a towering mark by Drew Petrie. They need more of that. As we said, a star against Carlton. Hasn't found that form this afternoon, but his rival has been terrific. Alex Rance, he can do it all. He's got wonderful closing speed. That's the thing about him, that even if you get a break on him, as Petrie did last week against Jamison, he got clear, but Rance is always there as the ball arrives. So there you go. That's the eagle. I'm not sure he's the natural predator of the seagull. I think that's the falcon, but he's just moonlighting, filling in.
He'll do, won't he? He does the job just by flapping, doesn't he? So Deledio forward. What was interesting, Tim, was Campbell's
hold it there, Robbie.
First minute.
Play on.
Well, he's injecting a bit of life back into their midfield. He's starting on the wing.
Fine there, Dustin.
Fresh player. And you want your fresh player to come on the ground and actually provide some real run and intensity around the ball for you. Here he goes again.
Inside to Atley. Another runner over the top to right.
Here he goes again.
Harper, who we know can run and carry, decides to go forward. And they've found that one-on-one that Scotty's played the lingy about for the second time. So suddenly, Rance has been so good. And he's injured as well. Been so good on Petrie. Petrie's got 3 and a chance to kick 4, which would give him one more than Revolt at the other end.
Harper kicking the ball too, and he's gone really quiet in this game, so that's another positive for the Kangaroos. Campbell and also Harper through that midsection of the ground that the Tigers really controlled in the third term.
This will be his 40th goal for the season. He came off equal career high 7 last week. It's long and it's strong and it's straight, and the Kangaroos are back in the 8 for the moment. Well, he's got right now. You'd say he's winning his position, and I would have had Rance nearly best on the ground at three-quarter time.
Well, isn't it amazing though that in coming into this game, North Melbourne would have thought that the key to this game was going to be their tools up forward, and it's only when they've taken those blokes off the ground and they've subbed Hansen out of the game that now in this particular part of the game it looks like they're on top.
Well, lots made about how stressful the coaching job is. There's got to be moments like that where you feel a little bit chuffed as a coach. He spoke at three-quarter time how he wanted Drew Petrie to play deep. He's come out and kicked the first 2 goals. Very nice feeling, no doubt. Play
restarts then. Marriage wins it down. Well done by Cochin. Tried to knock it to his own advantage. He was beaten, though, by Swallow. Fed back to Harper. In fact, it wasn't Harper, it was Adams who kicked it down towards half forward. Morris took the mark, gives it off to Hooley, comes out wide. And the spread there from Marriage sees him take the mark on the wing. So the 2 hardest things to teach in footy, height and pace, combining for that last goal. It was Campbell across halfback and Petrie inside the forward 50, taking the mark on the lead.
They're going to keep moving the Tigers. That's what's got them back into this game. They're going to keep the ball moving.
Goldstein reaches over the top, knocks it down. In trouble there, Grimer. Lunging after the football and finding it was Martin. Came across there towards a teammate, his captain in Newman. Kicks inside the forward 50. Missed by Cochin. Eventually scrambled up the back of the pack. Came across from Grimer to Swallow. Awkward half volley. Anthony couldn't control it. Here's Harper again. Tim spoke about him. Hugs the boundary line. This may go out of bounds, and that's a good result for North. Now they can push up en masse.
Gee, what a great game it's been. It's just been fluctuating at the moment. North with a little bit of momentum. Goldstein and Marriage have had a really good duel themselves today. Gibson couldn't take it. Martin was so good in that third quarter. Gets to Ellis, a first-year player, and he bangs it towards Nahas. Is it staying in? It does, but now it doesn't. It was a close call. Nahas so quick and dangerous. He's kicked a couple today. It's been a cameo role, though, by Nahas. He hasn't been in the picture a lot today, but he might play a part in the last quarter. There are a lot of match winners out there right now. They've got that sort of player, these two teams. Here's one of them who could have an influence. Whirls down the line, good kick, and a lovely mark by Adams, wasn't it? That was a really... He protected the ball with D all the way there, Adams. Going to learn a lot about these two teams in the next 20 minutes, I reckon.
Adams towards half forward, post, lunges at it, and gets it out of bounds. Clock stops at just over 16 minutes. Early going final term of the MCG on a Sunday in front of a big crowd. Certainly for two sides outside the 8. Well taken by Bastanak. Sends it long down towards full forward. Petrie again. Oh, Petrie. Rance has battled so well and so manfully, but just for the moment he's losing the fight. The bigger body, the taller man, is now starting to put his name in the frame.
And Dennis, the damage done too at the stoppage. There were just too many North Melbourne players that were running free at that stoppage. Thomas came straight off the interchange into the stoppage to provide an extra number there.
Drew Petrie has kicked 40 goals, 12 behinds this season. Impeccable kicking. And he puts this one through. He gets another, and suddenly North Melbourne pull away.
We've seen him in first quarters last Friday night. Remember the famous Glenn Archer go. He's a sort of bloke, Dan. He can kick 3 or 4 goals in 5 minutes, can't he? I mean, he's a bursty type player. It's going to be hard for Richmond now. I mean, they're not out of it by a long stretch, but every stoppage becomes vital, every clearance now. And just one man, I reckon, Campbell's introduction has made a big difference. It's just changed it all.
Right, Coach Tim, you fixed up Jack Riewoldt down the other end. Who do the Tigers send to Drew Petrie?
Well, they've made the change now. It looks like it's McGuan that's actually gone to Drew Petrie. I reckon the problems are elsewhere, though, Lingy. They've got to actually start getting their hands on the ball around the stoppages again. Well,
they do here, Tim. And Tuck got it when Swallow went down. Riewoldt worked underneath, wanted the free. Jack's got to forget about wanting the free. And
I love what Cochin did a couple of moments ago, too. He was at full 40, been taken out of the midfield for a bit of a spell. Straight after that goal, he's just telling the Richmond player, get back out of there. I want to go in there and make a difference.
You want Jack launching in this last quarter, as he did in that third. So the full forwards are playing a big part in this match, aren't they? I mean, 5 goals at one end, 3 at the other. And that's the difference between the two teams right now, that margin. So which of the midfield can win the battle? Richmond got right on top in the third. North have made the running in the last. Marriage lays it down. Campbell not quite. That was a good bit of play by Bastanak, just hacking it out. He wants the boundary line, but he won't be pinned. No umpire would do that, and it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Steady, Bruce.
It's an 11-point margin. A great afternoon it's been. It's been terrific between two clubs that wanted a whole lot.
That's been a great duel too. Goldstein and Marriage in front of the pack. Swallow taken down strongly by Edwards, and it's going to be a free kick in the ensuing tackle to be taken by Conker. Tackle too high. He's got the ball just forward of the wing. Now the Tigers need to make a move. He goes all the way back to Rance. Rance takes off. Goes very short. Gives it to D. Rance deciding against pushing past. Now he's got it, and he takes off around the outer side. It's like a stage of the Tour de Rance. He runs down towards half forward. Long kick towards the pocket. Big pack, and it's a mark in front for the Tigers. Tuck. So Tuck will line up from 20 metres out. The swings and roundabouts at play here this afternoon at the MCG.
That is a strong contested mark there too, but why wouldn't Grima be trying to punch? I mean, why would that be the first thing on his mind there? 3 deep.
So Tucky, what do we think? When he comes, sends it on its way, and it's good. 2 goals to Tuck. He's playing on a 1-year contract. People aren't sure still, but he keeps on performing.
I've missed you up there. He hit the post earlier, Tuck. He had a great chance. That was just a terrific mate. What about Rance, though? Because, look, that says a lot about Rance. I mean, he's had a terrific day. He's had a horrible 5 minutes, and yet he took the game on, didn't he? He took the game on. He created something from really nothing at half-back. Probing kick forward. It was just terrific by Alex Rance. I reckon that duel with he and Petrie has been one of the highlights of the year. Loved it.
No doubt.
Well, a good game's getting better, isn't it?
It is, and this is where it's going to be won and lost in these centre bounces. How critical they become now.
So as Dennis just corrected me, Tuck with the 1 goal hit the post earlier. So World's going forward. Was that a mark? I think.
Free kick. Richmond. No, not against you.
So more. So great play by Rance a moment ago. Could have been on the back foot, Rance, because of what Petrie's done to him in this quarter, but he wasn't. So Richmond and Tuck becoming important, isn't he?
And this is what he's doing. He's dragging Grima down the field too. That's good play from Tuck.
High ball forward. Revolt. Well done, Thompson. Delidio sits and waits. Little give to the bloke we know can be very dangerous. Nahas back inside. Ellis! Never came off the boot very well, did it? It was always floating. And when you float one, you need luck for it to go through.
And that's good coaching then from Hardwick, though, to say to Tuck, if you're going to be picked up by Grima, lead up hard to the ball. And that's exactly what he did then.
I don't know about you, Dennis. I have no involvement in who wins or loses here, but I feel nervous. It's one of those days.
Yeah, it's been a terrific match. Elements of it like a final. Hansen has come a long way up the ground to get a kick here, just forward of right half back. High ball. Rance camped in front, over the top with 5 goals. Petrie. Hand pass came out there from Anthony, but straight to D. He gave it across towards Moore. Moore to Delidio, back to Moore. Swings it across to Rance. Fumbles. Goes after it again. Stolen away by Thomas. That could be a pivotal play. Petrie has to wait. What did Tom Petty say? The hardest part is the waiting. Knocked away there from Petrie. Running away is Edwards. Hand pass comes forward from Grigg. Bit of a fumble. Delidio. In goes Harvey. Couldn't control it. Well done, Bastanak, or sort of. Delidio put the body in. Tuck. Hand passes to Ellis. Ellis the high ball. They'll meet at the footy. Back goes McMillan. Did okay for North. Ball runs free. Tracking it back there is Attlee. He accelerates Attlee. Jams it on the boot.
Bastanak did pretty well. Got it forward. And a high tackle. They were just a little sloppy.
Gee, how's Tuck's last couple of minutes? How important has that been?
Well, he went in head first.
Courageous.
You knew how hard he'd go, Tucky.
Bang.
He might go all the way here, Tuck.
He can kick this. No question about getting him the distance. Good long run up too. They have a lot of momentum through the ball.
Gee, struck it beautifully. That's a goal. It was a goal the moment that he left his boot. Tuck, the unlikely hero, up forward. Well, Brad Scott was chuffed 10 minutes ago. I reckon Damien Hardwick's chuffed right now. Good move, Tuck, forward. So who's got it in them? Which team, which collective group of players has got it in them to make a difference now?
That is a massive kick, isn't it? In the context of this game too, and the pressure that's on out there, and he's gone forward and he's been, well, at this stage he could be the match winner for the Tigers.
What a feeling of power too. That one kick sent North tumbling down to 10th on the premiership table. In goes Swallow, applies a tackle. Last man up is Cochin.
Well, North Melbourne have got their extra player at this stoppage. Richmond have got their extra player behind the ball.
Marriage won it down decisively. Cunnington goes in hard on Delidio, and the umpire will do it again. Still plenty of time, as you can see, just midway through the term. Getting gloomy now into the early evening here in Melbourne. Swallow did brilliantly. Goldstein did too. Now Wells, haven't called his name a lot today, runs forward, slips a hand pass across towards Gibson, goes close to the pocket. Petrie with 5, has it knocked away. Boundary throw in.
And that's the play, isn't it? You've got your player, your extra player at the stoppage. You have to run, you have to share the ball. But on that occasion, they just allowed Richmond's extra player, who was Rance, to get back to influence the play.
Deledio and Wells going head-to-head again. Thomas brought down, strong tackle. Newman to Rance, and then Rance with that long kick. Now this is a big one-on-one. Lovely mark, Ellis.
He's a good kid, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He hasn't missed a game, Tim. I mean, it's pretty remarkable with the rigours of AFL footy in your first season to play every game so far. Martin clever. McMahon, big play. Can he get it over the top? Good play by McMahon. He got it down the line. That was a big win against Martin. He's a hard man to bring down. Martin McMillan got it from Anthony. Campbell with run and carry to Cunnington. This is important. Off a step. Hanson forward. Oh, that's a free kick. That's silly, McGuan.
He didn't need to do that.
McGuan drew Petrie.
The kick put him under a lot of pressure, but he had to play it better than that.
And what about the hand pass by McMahon in the grasp? This went like a kick. It's gone about 30 metres.
It was fantastic, wasn't it? They worked it well, the Kangas, didn't they? And that was just, it just didn't have to do it.
Just that size of Petrie has troubled them in this last quarter in particular.
Well, unbelievably, the last time, or ironically maybe, he kicked 7 goals in a match. He kicked 6 the next week. Let's see if he can do it tonight. And he has. It was against the Tigers, wasn't it? They're back in front. They're in the 8. He's kicked 4 in the last quarter, Petrie.
He's been a star in the last quarter. And Brad Scott spoke to Lingy at three-quarter time and said, OK, this is what we're going to try and do in this final quarter. We're going to try and isolate him, and that has been the masterstroke.
If you had a Swiss man of the match tonight, you'd be having nightmares. I mean, the Swiss man of the match would be changing every 5 minutes, wouldn't it?
And they've used their numbers really well, though, North Melbourne. Where they've had their numbers have been in the midfield. They've been running, sharing and carrying the ball well. Well, I mean, the umpire had no choice other than to pay that a free kick.
4 points the difference. North Melbourne on top.
Cochin's back in the centre.
One of the best games of the season, certainly as a contest. It's been quite outstanding. Marriage trying to get it wide, but into the path there of Wells.
Oh, Cochin.
Cochin went in solidly on Swallow. Taken away by Conker. Drives it down towards half forward. Off hands in front. Another chance for Conker. Took a fickle bounce though. Dug out of there in his direction once again. Slides in. Harvey goes over the top. O'Hanlon was the man that put it in the direction of centre half forward. And now we've got a ball up. Conker getting active there in that exchange. Out of the middle and following up. So
every clearance vital, every forward 50 entry important. Marriage does it. Nahas post sweeps it. Tuck again, and then the handball to Revolt. He'll think his way through. Good tackle though. Probably holding the ball, not paid. Nahas. Edwards gets a lot on it, but just misses and a behind. Gee, every play here is just filled with repercussions, isn't it? Now, slow kick, but Adams did well. It was a gutsy mark. He is a courageous player, Adams. He's one of the all-time favourite players for Brad Scott, I know. And Adams, can he get to Harvey? He does. Now, they could be right on here. Rance holds him up. Big play by Rance. Harvey shoved him out of the way. Gee, Rance, that was important. Harvey would like his time again. Terrible kick going forward. Anthony's kick over the back. And North Gibson. Now, can he get to Petrie? That's the target. Well done that time by McGuan.
It's about looking after the ball line now too, isn't it? Those critical errors that come with that extra bit of pressure. Players are getting tired. It's been a tough, hard-running game of footy. Who stands up?
8 minutes to go then. Marriage backhands it down. Gibson gets a hand pass outside the forward 50 for North. Adams once more industrious. Goes and finds the footy to the pocket. Petrie in front. Well done, McGuan. Falls to Hanson. Slips a hand pass away to Harper. Harper goes to Harvey right across the face of goal. Going back is Petrie. And the ball, I think, is bounced out of bounds. So a boundary throw in. Dangerous spot here for the Tigers. Invariably, when they toss this ball in, It almost centers the ball on that curve. You watch this. It will be in a dangerous spot. Rucks lock up almost level with the behind post. Goldstein tried to flick it down behind. Wells a chance almost in the back. Anthony couldn't get through. Cochin somehow managed to get boot to ball. Play on's the call. Goldstein misses.
Good result.
Yeah, great stuff by Cochin there. Wells was probably a bit stiff. I think Wells was a little stiff there, maybe not.
Look at Cochin again, just burying his head.
He's been fantastic, Tim. Actually, I like Rance at the moment at half-back because I reckon his run and carry is quite important in this last quarter. So that could actually, I know Petrie's been possibly a match winner.
They set up for the long kick down the middle, but North Melbourne actually covered them well.
So these one-on-ones are vital. And Ellis wins a second one-on-one. The other one was against Campbell. This one was against Bastanak. Edwards hasn't had a lot of ball, but it's been important ball. Kicks the ball over the top of Tuck. Going to Martin and Tuck running into one another. That's a hard hit when those two do that. Tuck, well done. He's kamikaze Tuck, and he's legged Martin. He's like a bull. How do you bring a bull down when you leg a bull?
That was a good kick to give up, though.
It was. He's outside range, and that's saying something. Pops it up. Revolt, can he launch? Not quite. Can Swallow or Touchy? Swallow was good. He played it like a really good captain plays it.
That was marvellous by Swallow. Slips a hand pass away like Atley, developing every week. Thomas, Bastanak, now an opportunity for Adams. This is reminiscent of Hawthorn yesterday. Surging forward, Anthony over the top. Harper almost too slow. Back to Anthony. After the week he's had, will he kick the goal? No, he slips it over the top. Petrie will go in and get another one. Petrie's got 7. Is that 5 in the term? It is. That's as good as it gets. Precision handball, hard-working football, blue-collar stuff through the middle of the ground. And they get a 10-point break, 6 minutes out from full time. What a contest.
Great call, Dennis. There was a bit of play in the back pocket there. I'm sure Tim will bring it up. That could have won the match for North Melbourne. It was massive. This guy's kicked 5 in the last.
That was great play there by Swallow. I think I counted 9. There may have been 10 handballs in that chain. Not one kick until this one right here. And this bloke's played an enormous last quarter of footy. Back to the Tigers though now.
Well, I'm not sure if Richmond could afford another goal at the other end now. You almost feel like if North get another one, the Tigers are going to find it so hard. But it's been that sort of a day. You wouldn't count any up. And North are creating beautifully. Anthony, can he use it wisely? He's going high and hard to a bloke. He's kicked 7. Comes to ground. Hanson's had an average day. Doesn't get it out.
Holding the ball, play on advantage.
And now Richmond get it through, but misses the target. Getting back. Well done by Gibson. McMillan to Harvey. Now, you know that Harvey's mind will be racing.
You just can't give the ball back.
He'll be thinking, and he goes inside to another one of the old firm in Wells. It hasn't been a big day for Wells, but it's about to be if he kicks this.
Yep.
Slot this through, and those 17 disposals will feel like 30 good ones. This, you would think, will put North Melbourne in the 8 tonight. There's a lot resting on this 50 metres out. He hasn't got it. Oh, no, behind. Well, it was there and not quite striking it right.
Well, Bruce, when the game is in the balance like this, obviously we've seen the North Melbourne leaders and Swallow and especially Drew Petrie stand up. This is where the Richmond senior players need to stand up. Their season's on the line. They need Deledio, Cochin, Martin, some of their superstars to stand up and win the game for them.
Off hands, comes down in front to Gibson, feeds it back to McMillan, bounces out wide. Anthony, high ball inside the forward 50. Of course, it was the Tigers who lost from this position last week. Can they pinch one here?
He went to ground.
Just
He went to ground.
plenty of time on the clock.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know about the run in the Tigers' legs right now.
He's thinking only about winning this game, but if they do lose it, there's a huge lesson here. I mean, it's all about attitude. The Tigers brought it today, and last week, clearly they didn't. One down by Goldstein. Down went Thomas as well.
Into his back.
Chain reaction, free kick eventually, goes Tigers.
Blame up.
Let's see what sort of run they got here with their spread. They're out if they can get the ball out quickly.
Conker to Cochin. He gives it away. Spilt there by Hansen. The sub. Campbell has had an influence. Oh, you can't have much more of an influence than that. He gets the sealer.
Gee, there's a massive... I mean, you talked about last week. I mean, what killed the Tigers last week was a turnover in the middle of the ground when they were 11 points in front. I've got to say, this is harsh. Lockie Hansen dodged a bullet there because he had a big fumble. Unfortunately for him, Campbell was there to sweep. He's a good sub, Campbell. I mean, it's been his position a lot lately, hasn't it? But he's a really good sub.
Well, it's that the third time in 4 weeks, isn't it?
Well, Hansen really should have marked that. It was a terrible kick for Richmond. Hansen should have marked it, but this super little sub, and that's his, well, poor old Damien Hardwick, that's his role lately. He's been a sub in 4 matches this year, Campbell, and a lot of them lately. And North may be in the 8 tonight. It's going to be almost impossible for Richmond, you think, here. They've got to kick 3 goals. Rance belts it back. Bastanak at his 50th doesn't quite get enough on it. Well, he had Petrie with space on the gone. So Richmond have got one last dice to roll, and it's in good hands.
Well, the man who made the errant kick coming out moments ago got the football there. Cochin slipped it across towards Ellis, who's been very good. Ellis goes to Conker. Time the enemy now. We're down to 3.5 minutes. Conker inside the forward 50. Nahas. He flirted with the idea of going. Revolt wants it long. Delidio wants it short. Nahas. Well, he splits the difference and kicks a goal. He's got 3. That's leadership.
Well, we're only talking about 11 points, and Richmond know only too well that you can kick 2 goals in about 50 seconds. So there's still plenty of time on the clock if they can win the ball out of the centre here.
Yeah, no, they're still.
Let's see whether North Melbourne go into a really defensive mindset here as well and try and shift some numbers behind the ball. At the moment, they've got 4, 5, 6, 7 behind the ball. So they're not actually flooding the back. Well, they haven't sent excessive numbers behind the ball, North Melbourne. That's the Richmond forward line. So you see 4 North Melbourne players across the centre square, 3 beyond that. So Richmond with time. Nahas's goal certainly gives them that. Every clearance important. Swallow through it.
Try free kick, Richmond.
A big mistake by Swallow. He was magnificent in the way he went in, but he just...
Come on, Jack, move.
Umpire was right there. Tigers here with control of the ball. Delidio with that long kick to full forward. Belted away. Can Richmond get back? It'll be a goal. Edwards has kicked it off the side of his boot.
Will it go to review? The North Melbourne players...
Can we check the vision, please? The goal of High Boys is a goal, but he would like to check the vision.
You get the feeling the Richmond players know it hit the post because they're arguing that they shouldn't be going to review.
Well, that's inconclusive, that angle.
That's right. Very hard to see the bodies there.
That's inconclusive, that angle.
Yeah.
And if there's not a better angle, then it'll stay with the umpire's decision.
Yeah, so it should.
I think it's a goal.
Well, you can't tell from that angle.
How clever was that of Edwards?
I think it's a goal. Review complete. Pay the goal.
It's a goal.
Wow. 5-point game, nearly 3 minutes on the clock. The last 2 goals have come within about 30 seconds, so how many more twists and turns are we going to see at the MCG this afternoon?
You could not have asked for more, Dennis. I mean, we came here with a spring in our step today, didn't we? Thought this will be a really good game. I mean, there's so much to play for. It's been colossal.
We're not always right, Bruce, but we got this one.
2 out of 3 aren't bad.
Well, North Melbourne are going to go with a 4-man forward line, so there's the 6 Richmond players behind the ball. I don't reckon they need the 6. They're going to push one player up the ground, even if the crowd's their own forward line.
Absolutely. 5 points the difference. Marriage, kick was smothered. They battle in there. Delidio's got it, claimed immediately by Wells, wrestled away by Adams. Umpire will do it again. Cunnington finishing up with the footy. Goldstein. Jackson wanted to be third up, knocks it down. Gibson goes in, wins the football for North. On top of him is Cochin. And the clock continues to run. Well, no, it's stopped for the moment at least. 103 plays 98.
Need a third man up here, Dennis.
Well, Grigg did that, knocked it down. Tuck went in. Harvey slapped it out. Chance for Campbell, fed it forward. Thomas slipped over. Campbell, that was clever. Cunnington, Bastanak. They go forward, but they're outnumbered. Wonderful, courageous mark coming back by Rance. And that's the problem. You go short on the forward line, a goal would seal it. Oh, brilliant stuff by Thomas. Lunging across the boot of McGuan. And it takes a deflection and goes out of bounds.
This is where the Campbells and Thomases are really... They need to get to every contest here, North, don't they?
This is where the cool heads are good too.
They need to take time and space away. Bastanak, that handball out wide. Now, Harvey knows where he's at. He's got some opposition against him. That ball is a free kick to Morris, not paid. On the up, great handball coming out, and Hurley gets it from Grigg. And the Tigers are on. O'Hanlon got that original handball. Every 50-50 important. No free kick against Nahas. Who gets his footy? Nahas wanted it so much. No high tackle paid, and it'll be a ball up.
The umpire will swallow their whistle at this stage of the game too. Great attack on the ball there by Nahas.
Still plenty of time, a minute and a half for both teams, but
Richmond have got 2 players behind the ball though now. They actually need to even up the numbers here.
Quite right. Goldstein, Hooley in the opposite direction. Jackson, Cochin in good hands. Not far enough though. Harvey, ditto. Right man for the right time. Slips it over the top. Cunnington. Well, too cool. Come across towards Tuck. Now Jackson scrambles a kick out. It bounces down towards the forward pocket. Good defence there initially by Grimer over the top. Or was it Thompson? Thompson trying to get it out of bounds. And then Ferrito. So 106 remaining. 103 to 98.
Can Richmond do something from the stoppage? Marriage to Grigg. Oh, it was there on his boot. How good was Marriage there? Grigg had a real chance and he just gave it a hook at the end.
They've got to lock down now the Tigers, or this could be the ball game. A couple of kicks could run out the clock.
Adams is free. Being picked up now.
Do you know North Melbourne have lost 3 games this year by 2 points? So that ball out wide. Delidio been so good. Belts the ball back in forward. Good tackle. Tigers, though, with that point in front. Campbell. Back he goes. Grimer.
Oh, there we go.
So North, it is 103 to 99 on the burst. Worlds, we've talked about his game today. Gets it forward. Could Petrie do it again? Now the time's a worry.
Down to 25 seconds. Tigers have to take it the length of the ground. They need some luck now. Is it riding with them? Ellis into the path of Hurley. Coming across on the angle. Adams. Oh, terrific. He tested the shoulder right there. Backhanded it back. Marriage. We're down to 8 seconds. Trying to get through. McGuan slams it forward. Time's going to beat the Tigers. Over the football. Hansen goes back. As cool as you like. As cool as Larry Emder. And they've done it. What a game of footy. Hard luck for the Tigers. North Melbourne prevail. So North Melbourne jump into the top 8 again.
4 points, but it was an 8-point game in a way, wasn't it?
Yep. Credit both sides. They just wouldn't stop, would they? They would not stop. As good as we've seen, I reckon.
Oh, it was fantastic. You know when people say play like your life depends on it?
Yeah.
Well, that game was played like their lives depended on it.
here with the man of the moment, Drew Petrie. What a game, what a last quarter.
Yeah, I think both sides are out on their feet, and Richmond were unbelievable. They were great since they travelled last week, come back from Cairns, and our boys just dug deep. And we've lost a few close ones this year, Lingy, but that one, you just take 4 points just anyway how.
Brad Scott mentioned at three-quarter time about trying to isolate you in the forward 50. Certainly worked.
Yeah, I was lucky, Lingy. Lockie Hansen, Robbie Tarrant, they do a power of work. I keep barking instructions for them to run from side to side, up and back, so they're unreal, those two guys. It just allows them to stay inside 50 and try goals in the ruck. We're sort of going with one ruckman these days, and I'm doing the second ruck with Goldie's unreal. He just runs all day, and it's been great all year.
Well done, mate. Fantastic job.
Thanks, Lingy.
Yeah, 5 last quarter goals, 7. Gee, they fought hard, the Tigers. Revolt had a magic spell in the third quarter. Tuck provided a target up for it. Here's the ladder. Look at the difference between the Kangaroos winning and losing tonight. They're back in the 8. Secure to take the tumble down for the moment. So we've got 3 battles going on. Top 2, top 4, and then the top 8.
And the Carlton play against Richmond next weekend. They're going to come back and do it all again.
North Melbourne have got Melbourne too, so you'd expect them to go well against Melbourne, particularly because it's at Etihad Stadium. Cameron?
Boomer, you're absolutely exhausted, but what a fantastic win.
Oh, mate, this is what set seasons up, close finishes. To the boys' credit, I thought they were fantastic. Some of those acts right in the last 5 minutes. Lindsay Thomas over there, Lee Adams attacking the ball right where we're standing. Credit to the boys. Richmond played pretty well, I thought. I was always going to come out pretty tough after last week, and we matched them. I thought we did all right.
Is it wins like this to just keep those slightly ageing legs just ticking over time after time?
You're spot on, Lingy. There's no better feeling in life than going in and singing the song with the boys after a close finish.
Well, go and enjoy it, mate. Well done.
Thanks, buddy.
It's been good, Harvey. Really good. He's number 15 on the all-time list of games played. Kangaroos have now won 5 out of their last 6. They've got momentum going, haven't they?
And if you're looking for a team to support, North Melbourne bring it, don't they? I mean, a lot to like about their young players, the way they play the game. They've got a power forward. All the things I think you hunger for if you want to barrack for somebody. North on a roll. They're in the 8 tonight. But, gee, they got a fright. And Richmond will look back over their shoulder at last week and say, how did that happen? They couldn't have possibly lost that game, Tim, if they played as they did today.
It was just a fabulous afternoon of footy, wasn't it? Thoroughly enjoyable game of footy.
So the Tigers a 2-point loss last week, and today and look at Scotty. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Just take 4 points just anyway.
So we've got a massive Friday night coming up with Essendon and Hawthorn. And a season that just seems to be getting better by the week, doesn't it? I can't remember one as good as this.
It's like finals all the way into this final series, isn't it? Each week there's so much hinging on the result of the games. A great reaction.
You've heard of August finals. We know September finals. We feel like they're late July finals right now. It's a magnificent match. The stakes were oh so high. North Melbourne, by winning by 4 points, get themselves into the 8 tonight in an absolute epic at the G.